Okay, should be live now. Sorry about that. I had to get out and come back in because I wanted to use this program StreamYard so that um, I wanted to be able to put like worship songs on, and the other way is not really possible. I can put them in the background, but not exactly how I want. All right, so let me share this on my pages and then we'll start. All right. Copy. So if you're joining in, today is Parshat Noach. Noah. So we will get started in just a minute. I'm just sharing this on my different pages. Si hablas español, te recuerdo que este servicio es en inglés. So si conoces a alguien que habla inglés, compártelo con ellos. See. Okay. So we're going to do some worship songs to start. Almost done sharing this. Hey, Bachi, what you doing, girl? In the bathroom. Hola, Ana. So again, this is going to be in English. If you know some English, stay. If you don't know English, you're not going to know what I'm talking about. So one more page. Share. No. There we go. Roberto Blanco. Good morning. So again, this parashat is in English, okay? And we're going to start. Everything's going to be in English. The music's going to be in English. And we're going to be reading in English. So stick around if you want to hear Parshat Noach. Obviously, we're not going to be able to get to every part of it. But let's read through it and ask the Creator to speak to us. Parshat Noach, English live. All right, so let's go ahead and start. I wanted to start with some worship songs. Bathsheba, you gotta quiet down. Okay, cool, Juan. Very good. Hola, Natalia. Si no sabes español, va a ser difícil este video. Todo va a ser en inglés, pero el Eterno les bendiga y nos vemos en el próximo. Vamos a estar adorando y orando. Conéctate. Chrome tab. מודה
אני כל בוקר שהחזרת את נשמתי, מודה אני על בגד שנחת על גופי, שלא יהיה לי קר, אתה שומר עליי. מודה אני כל בוקר על האור, על עצם היותי, מודה אני על לחם שנחת לשולחני, שלא אהיה רעב, שלא אדכא. על אין ספור חיוכיי מודה אני, על כל כישרונותיי ועל כל שיריי, את כולם מקדיש לך. דע לך, שמודה אני לך. אצעק לך, אדיר שמך, אליך אקרא, לך חיי, לך ליבי ותודתי, אליך אקרא, אליך אקרא. מודה אני כל בוקר על כוחי, על אבי ועל אמי, מודה אני על גשם שנתת בשדותיי, לדאוג לאוהביי נתת לי חיי. על יום המנוחה מודה אני, על שפע וברכה למשפחה, כל כולי רק בזכותך. דע לך, שמודה אני לך. אצעק לך, אדיר שמך, אליך אקרא, לך חיי, לך ליבי ותודתי, אליך אקרא, אליך אקרא. על כל כישרונותיי מודה אני, על אכזבותיי ופחדיי ומכשוליי, הם כולם לטובתי. אין אחר בליבי, רק לך מודה אני. אצעק לך, אדיר שמך, אליך אקרא, לך חיי, לך ליבי ותודתי, אליך אקרא, אליך אקרא.
Are you a single Christian woman whose fear is that you either have to end up alone or settle? I know for me, I believe that I'd have to settle, and I believe that I would have to mentor the man that I was going.
Lord, make me a house, make me a house of prayer. Lord, make me a house, make me a house of prayer, a house of prayer. Lord, make me a house, make me a house of prayer. Lord, make me a house, make me a house of prayer, a house of prayer. May the fire of my altar never burn out, the fire of my altar never burn out. May the fire of my altar never burn out. Make me a house of prayer. May the fire of my altar never burn out, the fire of my altar never burn out. May the fire of my altar never burn out. Make me a house of prayer. Lord, make me a house, Make me a house of prayer. I want to seek your face, oh Lord. Make me a house, make me a house of prayer, a house of prayer. May the fire of my altar never burn out. The fire of my altar never burn out. May the fire of my altar never burn out. Make me a house of prayer. May the fire of my altar never burn out. The fire of my altar never burn out. May the fire of my altar never burn out. Make me a house of prayer. We say, Lord, make me a house. Oh, make me a house of prayer. I want to seek your face, oh Lord. Make me a house. Make me a house of prayer, a house of prayer. May the fire of my altar never burn out. The fire of my altar never burn out. May the fire of my altar never burn out. Make me a house of prayer. May the fire of my altar never burn out. The fire of my altar never burn out. May the fire of my altar never burn out. Make me a house of prayer. We say, Lord, make me a house. Make me a house of prayer. I want to seek your face, oh Lord. Make me a house. Make me a house of prayer, a house of prayer. May the fire of my altar never burn out. The fire of my altar never burn out. May the fire of my altar never burn out. Make me a house of prayer. May the fire of my altar never burn out. The fire of my altar never burn out. May the fire of my altar never burn out. Make me a house of prayer. We say, Lord, make me a house. Make me a house of prayer. Lord, I want to seek your face, oh Lord. Make me a house. Make me a house of prayer, a house of prayer. May the fire of my altar never burn out. May the fire of my altar never burn out. May the fire of my altar never burn out. House of prayer, a house of prayer. May the fire of my altar never burn out. The fire of my altar never burn out. May the fire of my altar never burn out. Make me a house of prayer. We say, Lord, make me a house. Make me a house of prayer. Lord, I want to seek your face, oh Lord. Make me a house. Make me a house of prayer, a house of prayer. May the fire of my altar never burn out. Say, may the fire of my altar never burn out. May the fire of my altar make me a house of prayer. Make me a house of prayer. May the fire of my altar never burn out. May the fire of my altar never burn out. Say, may the fire of my altar never burn out. Yeah. Make me a house of day and night, night and day, day and night, night and day, day and night, night and day. Make me a house of prayer. day and night, night and day, day and night, night and day, day and night, night and day. Make me a house of prayer.
We pray
Day and night, night and day.
May we pray
Day and night, night and day.
Seek your face
Day and night, night and
Make
day.
me a house of prayer.
Make me a house of prayer.
Day and night.
Day and night, night and day.
Oh,
Day and night, night and day.
oh,
Day and night, night and day. Make me a house of prayer.
oh,
May the fire of my altar never burn out. The fire of my altar never burn out. May the fire of my altar never burn out. Make me a house of prayer. May the fire of my altar never burn out. The fire of my altar never burn out. May the fire of my altar never burn out. Make me a house of prayer. May the fire of my altar never burn out. The fire of my altar never burn out. May the fire of my altar never burn out. Make me a house of prayer. May the fire of my altar never burn out. The fire of my altar never burn out. May the fire of my altar never burn out. Make me a house of prayer. Good morning to everybody who's saying good morning. Mira esta, I don't know, ¿qué es eso? ¿Qué es eso? Anyways, good morning to everybody who's connected. Buenos días a los que están conectados. Te recuerdo, esta clase es en inglés, pero vamos a estar adorando un ratito. Si se quieren quedar y adorar, claro que sí, orar. So, today's Parshat Noach, but we are going to continue with some worship songs. Let's keep going. Let's see.
I enter the holy of holies. I enter through the blood of the Lamb. I enter to worship you only. I enter to honor I am. Lord, I worship you. I worship you. Lord, I worship you. I worship you, for your name is holy, holy, Lord. For your name is holy, holy, Lord. I enter the holy of holies. I enter through the blood of the Lamb. I enter to worship you only. I enter to honor I am. Lord, I worship you. I worship you. Lord, I worship you. I worship you. For your name is holy,
holy Lord. Holy Lord is the Lord. For your name is holy, holy. Holy is the Lord. Holy is the Lord. Your name is holy. For your name is holy, holy, Lord. For your name is holy, so holy, Lord. Let the weight of your glory cover us. Let the life of your river flow. Let the truth of your kingdom reign in us. Let the weight of your glory, let the weight of your glory fall. Let the weight of your glory fall.
We're going to put a couple more songs. This one's, I have the translations in English and Spanish. La traducción para esta está en inglés y español. Okay. What happened to my internet? Sorry, over here first.
שיר למעלות, אשא עיניי אל ההרים, מאין יבוא עזרי. עזרי מעם השם, עושה שמיים וארץ, אל יתן למות רגליך, אל ינום שומרך. הנה לא ינום ולא ישן שומר ישראל. השם שומרך, השם צילך, על יד ימינך. יומם השמש לא יככה, וירח בלילה. השם ישמורך מכל רע, ישמור את נפשך, השם ישמור צאתך ובואך מעתה ועד עולם, מעתה ועד עולם. שיר למעלות, אשא עיניי אל ההרים, מאין יבוא עזרי מעם השם עושה שמיים וארץ, אל יתן למוט רגליך, אל ינום שומרך, הנה לא ינום ולא ישן שומר ישראל, השם שומרך, השם צילך, אל ימינך. יום יומם השמש לא יככה בירח בלילה, השם ישמורך מכל רע, ישמור את נפשך, השם ישמור צאתך ובואך מעתה ועד עולם, מעתה ועד עולם, מעתה ועד עולם.
No sé por cuál canción la cortaron. I don't know why they cut part of the video for which song it was, but we'll keep going.
Hey everyone, I'm Ashley from Amaze and this is it. Last chance to win this stunning
Ribono shalom, Ribono shalom, Malay v'shalom, Ribono letoivo. Ribono shalom, Ribono shalom, Malay v'shalom, Ribono letoivo. ויופק רצוננו, וזן שלנו, לעשות את רצונו בלילה שולח. ויופק רצוננו, וזן שלנו, לעשות את רצונו בלילה שולח. Ribono shalom, Ribono shalom, Malay v'shalom, Ribono letoivo. Ribono shalom, Ribono shalom, Malay v'shalom, Ribono letoivo. Ribono shalom, shalom. Malay mi shalom mi beinu letoivo. Riboinoi shalom. Riboinoi shalom. Malay mi shalom mi beinu letoivo. Ve'afek oteinu. L'seinu. L'asayt l'tzachon eleo sholem. Ve'afek oteinu. L'seinu. L'asayt l'tzachon eleo sholem. Riboinoi shalom. Riboinoi shalom. Oy malay mi shalom mi beinu letoivo. Riboinoi shalom. Riboinoi shalom. Oy malay mi shalom mi beinu letoivo. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Riboinoi shalom. Riboinoi shalom. Malay mi shalom mi beinu letoivo. Riboinoi shalom. Riboinoi shalom. Malay mi shalom mi beinu letoivo. Ve'afek oteinu. L'seinu. L'asayt l'tzachon eleo sholem. Ve'afek oteinu. L'seinu. L'asayt l'tzachon eleo sholem. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Riboinoi shalom. Riboinoi shalom. Malay mi shalom mi beinu letoivo. Riboinoi shalom. Riboinoi shalom. Malay mi shalom mi beinu letoivo.
Okay, so we're back up apparently. I don't know what had happened, but let's get started with our class. But let's pray first. Abba, we come before your presence this morning. We give you thanks for this Shabbat. We give you thanks for an opportunity to come before you, to hear your voice, to read your word, to be transformed. Abba, this is the day of rest. After 6 days of working, this is a day where we rest, where we reflect on you. We give you thanks. And we say that you are the one that's in control of our lives. You are the one that gives us everything that we have, our families, our peace, our health, our finances, the food we eat, the clothes that we wear, the jobs that we have, the businesses that we have. Everything that we have is because of you. There is no way that we could manage, control all the things that are in our lives. There's no way that we could maintain all these things that we have. You are the one that has given it to us. You are the one that gave us life. You formed us in the womb of our mothers. You're the one that called us by name, that gives us a purpose, that knows the end from the beginning in all of creation and in every single one of our lives. But we are tiny, small, looking up to a great, big God, asking you to come into our lives, asking you to descend, asking that you would hear us, that you would look at us, and that you would see that we are knocking on your door, that we are seeking you, that we are looking for you, asking for just the truth, asking for transformation in our lives, that we can grow closer to you, that we can grow closer to the people that are important in our lives, that we can help people. But we need you first. We need you first. We can't accomplish anything in our lives. We can't be who you want us to be. We can't do anything outside of you. You are the one that gives us life. You're the one that gives us meaning. You give us purpose. We've tried living without you, and we have not succeeded. We need you. We cannot live without you. We cannot exist without you. We have many years of proof that we cannot live without you. We have no strength, no power, no will, no determination. We really need your presence, Abba. We need your presence, Abba. Where can we go if only you have words of eternal life? Only you give us purpose. Only you show us the way that we should go. There is no one outside of you. There is no one before you and no one after you. You are the one who was, the one who is, and the one who is to come, the everlasting God, the creator of the heavens and the earth, the Almighty, the beginning and the end. Abba, we are desperately in need of your presence. Without you, we are totally unwise, full of the same mistakes over and over and over again, the same struggles, the same battles, making the same mistakes, falling in the same places. But we need your presence. We need your spirit with us every single day. We want to elevate. We want to elevate. Elevate us this morning as you speak to us. Speak to us through your word. Give us understanding. Give us revelation. Transform us, Abba. Transform us. Let your word do a work in us. Let your word touch certain areas of our lives today that we need help in, that we need change in. Speak to us exactly where you want us to hear you, and help us to change in those areas, to transform, to rectify, and to get close to you. But we ask for your spirit to manifest. May your Shekinah be with us. And may we see things that we never saw before in your word. May we understand things clearly. May they make sense to us. Abba, we are calling on your presence. We need you so much. We need your presence. Only you can give us revelation. Only you can change us. We hand our lives over to you willingly, asking that you teach us how to walk, teach us how to talk, teach us where to go. Take control of our lives, Abba, and speak to us this morning. Amen. Okay, so this morning, we are in Parshat Noach, or Noach. This Parsha is from Genesis 6:9 through Genesis 11:32. So let's just start reading in here, okay? It says, this is the line of Noah. Noah was a righteous man. He was blameless in his age, Noah walked with God. Noah begot 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Well, one of the first things that when you start reading this parsha that sticks out that some of the teachers repeatedly mention is that it says that he is righteous in his generation. They say that to denote, to let you know that generation was extremely corrupt. And it's not necessarily saying that he was righteous. Like, he wasn't like some super extremely like righteous person. Let's put it like that. So they compared it. They said, like, if he would have been living, or if we compared him to like Moses or Abraham, he wouldn't have been like considered extremely righteous. But in his generation, compared to his generation, he was the most righteous. Which is kind of interesting. And then what's even more interesting, which these are things that are difficult for certain groups to talk about, to even consider, is that his tikkun, he had to fix that. He had to rectify that. And what they say is that basically he didn't care enough about his generation. So it's like he cared, but not enough. Like, he didn't do enough to intercede on their behalf. Do you understand? And so his rectification came because, according to, I don't know if it was Isaac Luria. Yeah. So the Kabbalist Isaac Luria said that he was actually reincarnated as Moses. Why as Moses? Moses was always interceding on behalf of the people. Like, always. To the point where God said to Moses, I can destroy these people and give you a new people. And what did he say? He said, no, don't do that. Now, it's interesting, a couple things. When God said to Moses, I'm going to destroy all the people and I can give you a new people, Moses said no. He stopped him from doing that. When God went to Abraham and said, I'm going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah, Abraham said, no, don't do that. But when God says to Noah, I'm going to destroy all the earth, we don't see where he says that. So, again, they say, okay, he was righteous, but if you compare him to other times or other men of God, he wasn't particularly standout righteous. You understand? And the person who said that was Rashi. He's a commentator. I don't know from where, but I don't know from what year, I can't remember, but he said that he wouldn't have been considered exceptionally righteous. And then the Zohar says that Noah failed to pray for the benefit of his generation. He didn't care enough about that generation. So it also says another comparison or a way to kind of extract that is that in Genesis 7:23, it says that God said that he's going to wash or wipe away all existence. And the Hebrew word is vayamach. And in Exodus 32:32, Moses says, I believe it's if you don't save these people. Let me see, 32:32. Oh, I have this. Exodus 32:32. Moses went back to the Lord and said, alas, this people is guilty of a great sin in making for themselves a god of gold. Now, if you will forgive their sin, well and good. But if not, erase me from the record which you have written. That word erase me is the same word that is used in Genesis 7:23 when he says that he's going to erase or wash away all existence, which is vayamach. So in Genesis 7:23, God says, I am going to vayamach, or erase, wipe away all existence. And then in Exodus 32:32, if we go with the idea that Noah reincarnated into Moses, it says that Moses says to God, erase me from this book if you're not going to save these people. So he's doing like the polar opposite of what happened in the beginning, trying to correct the mistake, the tikkun. Hope that makes sense. Again, if you've never heard these concepts, don't judge them. We're just teaching and learning. It's up to you what you need to figure out what you believe. So let's continue reading. Genesis 6:11. The earth became corrupt before God. The earth was filled with lawlessness. When God saw how corrupt the earth was, for all flesh had corrupted its ways on earth, God said to Noah, I have decided to put an end to all flesh. For the earth is filled with lawlessness because of them. I am about to destroy them with the earth. Make yourself an ark of gopher wood. Make it an ark with compartments, and cover it inside and out with pitch. This is how you shall make it. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, its width 50 cubits, and its height 30 cubits. Make an opening for daylight in the dark, and terminate it within a cubit of the top. Put the entrance of the ark in its side. Make it with bottom, second, and third decks. For my part, I am about to bring the flood waters upon the earth, to destroy all flesh under the sky in which there is breath of life. Everything on earth shall perish. But I will establish my covenant with you, and you shall enter the ark with your sons, your wife, and your sons' wives, and of all that lives, of all flesh, you shall take 2 of each into the ark to keep alive with you. They shall be male and female. From birds of every kind, cattle of every kind of creeping thing on earth, 2 of each shall come to you to stay alive. For your part, take of everything that is eaten and store it away to serve as food for you and for them. Noah did so just as God commanded him. So he did. So we're going to keep on going. I just want to read through some of the Parsha. Then the Lord said to Noah, go into the ark with all your household, for you alone have I found righteous before me in this generation. Again, for you alone have I found righteous before me in this generation. Not other generations. You're not necessarily righteous in other generations, but in this generation. Of every clean animal you shall take 7 pairs, males and their mates, and of every animal that is not clean, 2, a male and its mate. Of the birds of the sky also, 7 pairs, male and female, to keep seed alive upon all the earth. For in 7 days' time I will make it rain upon the earth. 40 days and 40 nights I will blot out from the earth all existence that I created. And Noah did just as the Lord commanded him. Noah was 600 years old when the flood came, waters upon the earth. Noah with his sons, his wife, and his sons' wives went into the ark because of the waters of the flood. Of the clean animals, of the animals that are not clean, of the birds, and of everything that creeps on the ground, 2 of each, male and female, came into the ark, as God had commanded Noah. And on the 7th day, the waters of the flood came upon the earth. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, on the 17th day of the month, on that day, all the fountains of the great deep burst apart, and the floodgates of the sky broke open. The rain fell on the earth 40 days and 40 nights. That same day, Noah and Noah's sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, went into the ark with Noah's wife and the 3 wives of his sons. They and all beasts of every kind, and all cattle of every kind, all creatures of every kind that creep on the earth, and all birds of every kind, every bird, every winged thing, they came to Noah into the ark, 2 each of all flesh in which there was breath of life. Thus they that entered comprised male and female of all flesh, as God had commanded him. And the Lord shut him in. The flood continued 40 days on the earth, and the waters increased and raised the ark so that it rose above the earth. The waters swelled and increased greatly upon the earth, and the ark drifted upon the waters. When the waters had swelled much more upon the earth, all the highest mountains everywhere under the sky were covered. 15 cubits higher did the waters swell, as the mountains were covered. And all flesh that stirred on earth perished, birds, cattle, beasts, and all things, the things that swarmed upon the earth, and all mankind, all in whose nostrils was the merest breath of life. All that was on dry land died. All existence on earth was blotted out. Man, cattle, creeping things, and birds of the sky, they were blotted out from the earth. Only Noah was left, and those with him in the ark. That's tremendous. And when the waters had swelled on the earth 150 days, God remembered Noah and all the beasts and all the cattle that were with him in the ark. And God caused the wind to blow across the earth, and the waters subsided. The fountains of the deep and the floodgates of the sky were stopped up, and the rain from the sky was held back. The waters then receded steadily from the earth. At the end of 150 days, the waters diminished, so that in the 7th month, on the 7th day of the month, the ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat. The waters went on diminishing until the 10th month. In the 10th month, on the 1st of the month, the tops of the mountains became visible. At the end of 40 days, Noah opened the window of the ark that he had made and sent out the raven. It went to and fro until the waters had dried up from the earth. Then he sent out the dove to see whether the waters had decreased from the surface of the ground. But the dove could not find a resting place for its foot and returned to him to the ark, for there was water over all the earth. So putting out his hand, he took it into the ark with him. He waited another 7 days and again sent out the dove from the ark. The dove came back to him toward evening, and there in its bill was a plucked off olive leaf. Then Noah knew that the waters had decreased on the earth. He waited still another 7 days and sent the dove forth, and it did not return to him any more. In the 601st year, in the 1st month, on the 1st of the month, the waters began to dry from the earth. And when Noah removed the covering of the ark, he saw that the surface of the ground was drying. And in the 2nd month, on the 27th day of the month, the earth was dry. God spoke to Noah, saying, "Come out of the ark, together with your wife, your sons, and your sons' wives. Bring out with you every living thing of all flesh that is with you, birds, animals, and everything that creeps on earth, and let them swarm on the earth and be fertile and increase on the earth." So Noah came out together with his sons, his wife, and his sons' wives. Every animal, every creeping thing, and every bird, everything that stirs on earth came out of the ark by families. Then Noah built an altar to the Lord, and taking of every clean animal and of every clean bird, he offered burnt offerings on the altar. The Lord smelled the pleasing odor, and the Lord said to himself, "Never again will I doom the earth because of man, since the devisings of man's mind are evil from his youth, nor will I ever again destroy every living being as I have done. So long as the earth endures, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night shall not cease." Wow. One of the teachers I was listening to said that we get so worried about everything that's going on the earth right now, whatever it may be, sicknesses, famine, poverty, and a number of other things. And we get so extremely worried. And he said, but at the end of the day, who's really in control of everything? Of course, we have to take care of the earth, and we have to be good stewards of the earth and our families and do our part. But ultimately, who is the creator? Who made the earth? Who made a human body? And he set it up and said, he says, "Never again will I doom the earth because of man, since the devisings of man's mind are evil from his youth, nor will I ever again destroy every living being as I have done. So long as the earth endures, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night shall not cease." So Genesis 9. God blessed Noah and his sons and said to them, "Be fertile and increase and fill the earth. The fear and the dread of you shall be upon all the beasts of the earth and upon all the birds of the sky, everything with which the earth is astir, and upon all the fish of the sea. They are given into your hand." Every creature that lives shall be yours to eat. As with the green grasses, I give you all these. You must not, however, eat flesh with its lifeblood in it. But for your own lifeblood, I will require a reckoning. I will require it of every beast, of man too. Will I require a reckoning for human life, of every man for that of his fellow man. Whoever sheds the blood of man, by man shall his blood be shed. For in his image did God make man. Be fertile then, and increase, abound on the earth, and increase on it. And God said to Noah and to his sons with him, I now establish my covenant with you and your offspring to come, and with every living thing that is with you, birds, cattle, and every wild beast as well. All that have come out of the ark, every living thing on earth, I will maintain my covenant with you. Never again shall all flesh be cut off by the waters of a flood, and never again shall there be a flood to destroy the earth. God further said, This is the sign that I set for the covenant between me and you, and every living creature with you, for all ages to come. I have set my bow in the clouds, and it shall serve as a sign of the covenant between me and the earth. When I bring clouds over the earth, and the bow appears in the clouds, I will remember my covenant between me and you, and every living creature among all flesh, so that the waters shall never again become a flood to destroy all flesh. When the bow is in the clouds, I will see it and remember the everlasting covenant between God and all living creatures, all flesh that is on earth. That God said to Noah shall be the sign of the covenant that I have established between me and all flesh that is on earth. So even that, seeing the rainbow, as a teacher I was listening to said, it's a reminder of how little control we truly have over our lives. Like, I've been saying this a lot lately in my videos in Spanish, is that we think that we have control. If we had so much control, we wouldn't be as worried for things as we are. For people who think they have control of their lives, we worry a whole lot. You know, we're always worried about finances, a job, a situation, our kids, relationships. It's like constant worry. But at the same time, we have this feeling of having control over our lives. But showing worry is the opposite, obviously, of control. We do not have control of our lives. The fact that we worry so much should reflect to us, should be an alarm that you don't have control. But instead of turning towards God, we try to gain more control. We double down. If we're going through a financial problem, we double down. We go crazy. We got to figure out where's the money coming from? Where am I going to go? But our prayers are the same over and over and over and over again. So we tend, when we're supposedly trying to gain control, we double down, and we separate ourselves more from God, because the situation becomes so much bigger. It just grows. The problem that we're living, whether it be a sickness, whether it be financial problems, whether it be a marital problem, whether it be a problem with our children, a problem at work, a problem with a neighbor, our car broke down, we got in a car accident. Like, there's so many things that happen, and they're tiny, and we make them big. It's interesting. I was walking out of, I had gone to the grocery store last night, and when I walked out, I looked at the back of my van, and it looked like I had been hit. And I said, oh gosh, I said, somebody hit me. And it's funny because when I was walking into the grocery store, there was like a truck that was coming off fast. And when I was trying to walk past it, it started like reversing. And I was like, dude, this guy has no respect, right? And when he walked in the grocery store, we kind of did that. We both looked at each other, like what's up? Stupid, right? So anyways, I walk out. And when I'm walking out to go to my car, it looks like there's a huge dent on my bumper. And I'm like, man, I said, somebody hit my car. I said, maybe it was that guy that, we were looking at each other or whatever. I said, dang it. And in my mind, literally for a split second, it became a huge thing. I was like, oh man, like I'm gonna have to call the insurance. It was weird, right? And then I see that there's a guy kind of parked like a parking spot. There's like one parking spot between my van and his car. And he closes his door. And the reflection of his door was no longer on the bumper. So it was the reflection of his door that was on my bumper that made it look, from the distance that I was at, it made it look like there was a dent in my car. But really all it was the shade that his door was projecting onto my bumper. He closed his door and the car accident or the bump that was on my bumper was no longer there. And it's funny because in my mind I said, let's say that my car had been hit. In my mind, that would have become a huge thing. It would have become I need to talk to the insurance. I need to get it fixed. What's that going to do to my insurance? That means I have to leave the van somewhere. That means I need to find a shop. It means am I gonna be without the van for a couple days? Like, it becomes this huge, crazy situation that is not even reality. And it got me just thinking, like, wow, like our minds just really love negativity. Like, it just loves negativity. Not everyone, but there's some people who just thrive on it. And it's weird because they hate it. They hate dealing with the situation, but they thrive with negativity. It could be anything. It could be in the marriage, fighting all the time, being angry about something your spouse did all the time. It could be that car issue, an issue at work, so many things that, again, and then so when I walked to the car and I realized, okay, there's nothing going on, I said to myself, okay, let's say that I had been hit. Like, what's the big deal? Like, the car still drives. Like, like, is it really that big a deal? And so it's getting me to think about, like, how am I processing situations in my life? How am I dealing with adversity? Am I dealing with it properly in a healthy way? I don't think so. I think there's a lot of situations that we struggle with or that we go through and we're not dealing with it in a healthy way. We're very toxic in the way that we think. We think the worst. It's another thing I had prayed about the other day, and I was like, man, like, my mind has a tendency to jump to the worst case scenario. I always used to think that was like a way of me, like, protecting myself, like, well, I'm preparing for the worst. Well, the worst almost never happens. So why live? That would be illogical. Why live preparing for the worst when in your own life you've seen that the worst, most times, that's not what happens. So even for a logical person, that would be illogical. It wouldn't make sense. So I think we need to kind of reflect on who's really in control and what can we do to have peace and to connect with God so that we're not getting ourselves into problems. If we wake up thinking about our problems, we spend our day thinking about our problems, our prayers revolve around our problems, and we go to sleep thinking about our problems, how could we ever hear God's voice if our minds are constantly fixated on the problem? Your mind is fixated on the problem. It's like an atheist. It's like somebody who doesn't believe in God. Okay, I don't believe in God. Why? Because I got all these reasons. Well, that's kind of how the mind works. Like, if you focus on all the reasons why, like, think about it just from politics perspective, right? If you're on the left or you're the right, it is very hard for you to listen to someone else on the other side, even if they have a good point. Like, they might have a really fire point, but you have come into the situation saying, whatever they say, I'm not going to really believe it. Even if it's partly true, they've got a weird motive behind it. So it's like, it could be true, but there's a motive. And we all struggle with this. Like, that's just how humans are. And so an atheist comes in like, no, I don't believe in God. So yeah, everything that's in your mind is going to be negative towards God. You're going to have 1,000 reasons, and you're not even going to consider that God could exist. Why? Because your mind is filled with the fact. In your mind, it's a fact that God can't exist. Hey guys, who's doing that noise? So, if our minds are constantly fixated on negativity, it's going to be very hard to hear God's voice. We've got this problem in front of us, but it's taken over every area of our life. All our time, all our emotions, all our energy, to the point where we're treating our family differently, we're treating work differently. It's consumed us. If the mind is here on earth, so stuck to this earth, so stuck to the problems, how can it elevate to receive a message that's spiritual? Many times we just want God, like, take it away, just take it away. Well, what if it's not that simple? What if you need a strategy? What if you need to hear from God to get the strategy? But you end up so fixated on it where it could be years. You could be stuck on something for years, asking God, just take it, just take it, just take it. It's like, well, maybe you need a strategy, but your ears are not open. Your mind, your heart is not open to be able to receive that strategy. So again, who's really in control? God's in control. We need to give God control of our lives. How do we do that? By understanding and realizing that we're not in control. And most of the things that we are in control of, it's because we're probably making them worse. So we need to let go. We need to spend time. Our time in prayer should be directed towards God, not focused on our problems, not focused on all our shortcomings, not focused on all our difficulties. A lot of our prayer, yes, there's times where, of course, you present your issues before God, you present your petitions, you present your weaknesses, of course. But a lot of our prayer should be focused on Him, on a turning over my life. Because as I turn over my life, there's less of me, more of Him. I start to hear more of Him. I start to understand. I can see the bigger picture. But if I'm stuck on my problems, then I'm stuck in that moment. I'm stuck in my issues, and I can't see outside of the bondage that I'm in. So our prayer time has to be worshiping, not focused on our issues, but focused on Him, on a trust, on a turning over. That, hey, if I give my life over to God, if I focus on Him, if I hand these issues over to Him, He can solve them. So I think I'm going to leave this class here for now. Last week we did the first Parsha. This is the second Parsha, Noach. Next week, I believe we go into Abraham or Abram, whose name is changed to Abraham. So I will see you next week. If you are watching this video, I'm doing at least this is like the one video that I do in English per week, which is the Parshat. It's going to be on Shabbat, on Saturdays. I'm shooting for around 10 a.m. If you know Spanish, then we connect on a daily show, Monday through Friday, at around 9 o'clock in the morning, 9 to 10, depends. And yeah, thanks for stopping by. I hope this was a blessing to you. Hope we can get closer to God this week. It's Shabbat. Go spend some time with your family. Relax. Have a good time. Si hablas español y todavía has estado aquí, el Eterno te bendiga. Es Shabbat. Nos vemos el lunes quizás. No quizás. Bueno, primero Dios, con la ayuda del Eterno, nos vemos el lunes como a las 9 por ahí. Yo creo que 9:30, creo que es. 9:30. Nos vemos. El Eterno les bendiga. Que tengan un Shabbat lindo. Que la pasen bien. Have a good day. How do I pronounce Bahia? Bahia boy. Bahia boy. How'd you get to my page? Bahia boy. What's going on? How'd you get here? How'd you hear about this page? I'm interested. Is anybody else connected that knows English? Or am I just talking to a bunch of people that speak Spanish? It's all good either way. I'm gonna wait here a second for this. Hopefully you can write back. Juan Gonzalez, what's up? My mom sent me. Okay, cool. That's what's up. That's what's up. I'm glad you're here. All right. Thanks, Monica. All right. God bless you guys. We'll see you on next Shabbat if you watch English. And take it easy. What you doing, boy?
Can I use that charger?
Yeah, I'm about to disconnect. Give me 1 second, okay? Okay, everybody have a great day. Que la pasen bien. Bye. Hold on, papi.